Hi, I'm Dennis Rodkin. I write the Deal Estate column for Chicago Magazine, and this is DEQs, where I answer readers' real estate questions. A reader named Nicole in Burr Ridge asks, "We live in a unique area in Burr Ridge where we are bound by covenants to keep our properties 2+ acres. Nothing in the neighborhood has traded in several years. We'd like to sell our home, but there aren't comps. How do we determine the value of our home?" Nicole, I talked with an appraiser who helps me with these things, Ian Bain, and one thing he noted is that most properties that seem unique really aren't. It is possible to develop comps by a form of triangulation. It's a version of what appraisers call paired value sets. Using public records and real estate records, you go back as far as necessary to find the last few similar sales in your part of Burr Ridge, and then you triangulate. What you're going to do is, let's say you've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and the comparables that sold in 2001, 11 years ago, sold for about $100,000. You then use real estate records and property records, if possible, to find other homes in the region that also sold for about $100,000 in 2001. The next step is to determine what these partner homes sold for more recently. And then if they're selling, let's say, at $130,000 now, there's a good chance that their comps back in Burr Ridge would be worth about the same, and thus, so would yours. Now keep in mind that what you're coming up with is a rough measure. What you'd need to factor in, if you can, is such variables as have prices in that other town gone up faster or slower, fallen farther or less far than prices in Burr Ridge in the years since 2001. We publish charts every April that can help you do that. Another thing to keep in mind is that you may not be looking exactly at homes with the very same size property you have. You may not have to look at 2-acre properties. You'd look at large lot subdivisions so that you're looking at generally similar properties, because really what you're after is to come up with an approximate value, which is a start. Another thing to keep in mind is you don't have to do the research yourself. This kind of process is exactly why you hire an appraiser before listing your house. An appraiser is going to do something like this in a far more exacting way than what I've just described with the professional tools that the appraiser has. The advantage of having that appraisal is not only that it saves you the work and the research I've described, but it also gives you a reliable source on which you can base your price. Buyers who come in and their agents are going to know just as well as you do that there aren't comparable sales that are recent. So the information you have, if you choose to share it with them, makes you seem like a more credible and prepared seller. Thanks for your question. Send me more at dennis@rodkin.com.